and welcome to Kiki Crochet. In this video tutorial we are going to learn how to crochet step by step this beautiful Christmas stocking. The measurements are 46 centimeters long and 16 centimeters wide. We're going to use 2 stitches. We're going to use the basket weave, and then we're going to use the rib stitch, which is 1 front post, 1 back post, and I'm going to use a total of 2 skeins of yarn, which is going to be about 460 yards. Okay, now let's see the material that we're going to use and how to start. The yarn that I'm going to use is Alize Burgum Classic, which is 100% acrylic. It's worsted weight, and each skein is 3.53 ounces, 230 yards, and I'm going to crochet with a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. Let's start. Let's start with our magic circle. If you do not know how to work the magic circle, you can always chain 4, slip stitch in the first chain to form a ring, and whatever I work in the center of my magic circle, you can work it in the center of your ring. So let's start. Wrap the yarn around your 2 fingers once and bring it on the top left. Put your hook under the right yarn over the left one and bring it over. Turn your hook around once to form a loop. Grab the left yarn and pull it through the loop. By doing this, I have secured my magic circle, but I've also worked my first chain. Now, because I don't want to have a big gap in the beginning of every row, instead of chaining 3, which counts as a double crochet, I'm going to be chaining 2, which will count as my first double crochet. Okay, so in this case I'm going to work 1 more chain, and I have my 2 chains, and I want a total of 12 double crochet in the center of my circle, so I'm going to work 11 more double crochet. So 1, we need a total of 12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now grab the yarn that you started the magic circle with and pull it tight. And we're going to work a slip stitch in the second chain, counting from the bottom to the top. Now, in every row, we are going to be turning our work to work on the opposite direction, and this will help me to get a straight seam in my project, because if you keep working in the rounds and you don't know where to place your hook correctly, you will have a diagonal seam, which will give us a bad result. Okay, so always turn your work. Chain 2, turn the work. In row 2, we're going to work 2 double crochet in every stitch all around for a total of 24 double crochet. So I'm going to work 1 more double crochet in the same stitch as the 2 chains. Okay, so this is my first increase, the first 2 double crochet in the first stitch. Okay, so next stitch, 3, same stitch, 4. Next stitch, 5, same stitch, 6. Okay, so keep working to double crochet in every stitch all around, where the last stitch is going to fall right in here, and you're going to have a total of 24 double crochet. I have completed crocheting all around with a total of 24 double crochet, and now, just so I don't show the same step over and over, every time that we finish a row, we always work a slip stitch in the second chain, counting from the bottom to the top. Okay, now I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, and turn your work. In row 3, we're going to work an increase in every second stitch for a total of 36 double crochet. So in the same stitch as the chain, right here in the base, work one more double crochet. So as long as I work increases, my first stitch is always going to be an increase right here in the first stitch. Okay, so the next stitch, work one double crochet. In the second stitch, work 2 double crochet in the same stitch. So this is an increase. One double crochet in the next stitch. 2 double crochet in the next one. So in the next stitch, we're going to work an increase. Okay, the 2 double crochet in the same stitch. So keep repeating the pattern all around. Okay, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, all around up until the end. This right here is going to be your last stitch, your 36th, where if you have crocheted correctly, this will be a 1 double crochet. I have completed row 3 with a total of 36 double crochet. I have worked my slip stitch. Now we're going to start row number 4 by chaining 2 and turn your work. Now in row 4, we are going to be working increases in every third stitch for a total of 48 double crochet. So 2 chains, work 1 more double crochet in the same stitch as the base of the chains. Okay, and start counting your stitches for the increases from the next stitch. So 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. 1, next stitch 2. In the third stitch, I'm going to work my increase, 2 double crochet in the same stitch. Okay, 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, 2 double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, so this is our increase. We're working 2 double crochet in the same stitch. So keep repeating this pattern all around, and in the last 3 stitches of the row, they're going to be as follows: increase, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, for a total of 48 stitches. I have completed row 4 with a total of 48 double crochet. Now we're going to start row 5 by chaining 2, and I'm going to turn my work. Now row 5 is going to be the last row of increases. So from here on, for the toes up until the heel, up until we start crocheting for the heel, we're going to have a total of 60 stitches. Okay, so I have worked 2 chains and worked 1 more double crochet in the same stitch as the chain of the base. So this is my first increase, and in this row we are going to be working an increase in every 4th stitch. So work 1 double crochet in the first 3, 1, 2, and 3, and in the 4th stitch work your increase, 2 double crochet in the same stitch, 1, same stitch, 2. So keep repeating those steps all around. 1 double crochet in the next 3, in the 4th one work your increase, where in the last 4 stitches you're going to have your increase and 1 double crochet in the last 3 stitches of your row. Once I finish, I'm going to turn my video back on, and we're going to have a total of 60 double crochet all around. I have completed row 5 with a total of 60 double crochet, and from here on we're going to be working 1 stitch in every stitch, no more increases. Okay, so let's start row number 6 by chaining 2 and turn your work. Now from this row on, we're going to be having a good side and a wrong side in our project. And since I'm going to work 1 front post double crochet all around in each of the stitches, this is going to be my wrong side. So chain 2 and starting from the first stitch right over here, work your front post double crochet by putting your hook from the front to the back on the right side. Take it out to the front again on the left side, so we're pulling outwards the stitch. And grab the yarn, pull it under the stitch, take the yarn, pull through the first 2 loops, take the yarn to the last 2 loops. Okay, yarn over once, work a front post around the next stitch, so put your hook from the front to the back on the right side, take it out to the front again from the left side, and work your front post double crochet. Let's work one more stitch together. Okay, put your hook from the front to the back on the right side, take it out to the front again on the left side, and work your double crochet. So keep working one front post double crochet all around for a total of 60 stitches. Please don't forget that our first stitch is a chain 2, so we're really going to have a total of 59 front post double crochet. I have completed working my 60 front post double crochet. Okay, now we're going to start row number 7, in which we're going to work one double crochet in every stitch all around for a total of 60 stitches. So chain 2 and turn your work. And this is now the good side of our work, because by working the front posts in the row that we just completed, we create this line over here. Now we have chain 2, and starting from the first stitch right over here, we're going to work one double crochet in every stitch. So 2, because the chain 2 is going to be my first stitch for these rows. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep crocheting for a total of 60 stitches. The last stitch is going to be this one over here. I have completed row 7 with a total of 60 double crochet. I have worked my slip stitch. Now chain 2 and turn your work. In row 8, we're going to start creating our basket weave, 2 front post and 2 back post double crochet. So my front posts, because we already know how to work them, I'm going to work them without explaining the steps. Okay, so 1 front post in my first 2 stitches, 1, next stitch 2, and in the next 2 stitches I'm going to work a back post double crochet. So when we work the back post, we want to put our hook from the back to the front on the right side, and then take it out to the back again, so we're pulling backwards our stitches, and then we're going to work our double crochet. Okay, again a back post in the next stitch, so put your hook from the back to the front on the right side, to the back again on the left side, and work your double crochet. Now repeat those 4 steps again. The next 2 stitches are going to be a front post double crochet. So 1 front post in the first stitch, 1 front post in the second stitch, and then the next 2 stitches are going to be a back post double crochet. So from the back to the front on the right side, to the back again on the left side, and work your double crochet. From the back to the front on the right side, to the back again on the left side, and work again your double crochet. So keep repeating those 4 stitches all around, 2 front post, 2 back post, 2 front post, 2 back post. Now in the end, if you have crocheted correctly, the last 3 stitches are going to be as follows: 2 front post double crochet, and the last stitch by itself, it's going to be 1 back post double crochet. And the reason that I'm not going to have a set to go with this back post and then in the other row with the front post, the reason that I don't have a set is because this stitch has a multiple of 4 as a rule, and because one of my stitches is the chain 2 for this part of the project, I don't have the extra stitch needed down here to make the pair. Okay, so this is not wrong. You're not going to have a bad result or anything. Just remember that the last stitch is going to be a back post by itself. And see how my stocking has started to build up now, because we're working one stitch in every stitch. We're not working increases anymore, so we have started to build up. So once I finish crocheting all around, I'm going to turn my video back on. I have completed row 8, and as I mentioned before I turned my video off, the last stitch was one back post double crochet. Now I'm going to chain 2 and turn the work. So we always turn the work to have a straight seam over here. Now for the next 2 rows, I want to change the direction of the stitches. Now you will wonder why here we only worked 1 row with the basket weave and not 2 that we're going to work now. This happens because when the row before the one that we start the basket weave, sorry, is a row of plain double crochet, when you work your front posts and your back posts, it seems as if it's made of 2 rows, right? Now, if I would work an extra row, thinking that I'm working 2 rows with front posts and back posts, those stitches would be taller than the 2 rows that I'm going to crochet now. Okay, once we crochet the next 2 rows, I'm going to show you so we can compare the length of both stitches, okay, of the rows that we worked for the basket weave. So now I have turned my work, okay, and we want to change the direction of the stitches. So since the first stitch is a front post, I want to make it a back post double crochet. So take your hook from the back to the front and to the back again and work a back post. The next 2 stitches are 2 back posts, so I want to make them front posts in this row. And because they're not too visible, just open up your stitches so you can see better and put your hook from the front to the back and to the front again and work your front post double crochet. Same thing in the next stitch as well. Put your hook from the front to the back and out to the front again and work your front post double crochet. Now for the next 2 stitches, they are front post double crochet, so we want to make them back posts in this row. So put your hook from the back to the front and to the back again and work your back post double crochet. Same thing in the next stitch as well. Put your hook from the back to the front and out to the back again and work your back post double crochet. So keep working to front post to back post to front post to back post, where the last 2 stitches of the row, since they are back post, they are going to be front post double crochet in this row. I have completed row 9, and as I mentioned, the last 2 stitches are 2 front post double crochet. Now I'm going to chain 2, turn my work to start row 10, and we want to keep the same direction of the stitches. So since the first 2 stitches seem as a back post, I'm going to work a back post double crochet, even though when we completed row 9 these were front posts. When you turn the work, these stitches switch direction, okay? So I'm going to work 2 back post double crochet to begin with, 1 next stitch, 2 back post double crochet. The next 2 stitches are front posts, so I'm going to work 2 front post double crochet, 1 and 2. So keep repeating the pattern to back post to front post to back post to front post and so on. And my last stitch, this one right here by itself, is going to be a front post double crochet. I have completed row 10. The last stitch, as I mentioned, was a front post double crochet. Now chain 2 and turn your work to start row 11. Now, as I mentioned earlier, see the height of the stitches of the basket weave down here and the height of the stitches up here, they are the same. So if I would work an extra row down here, it would look wrong. Okay, so let's start row 11 with 1 double crochet in every stitch all around for a total of 60 stitches. Starting from the first stitch right over here, 1, next stitch, 2, next one, 3. So keep working 1 double crochet in every stitch. My last stitch will be right over here, okay, for a total of 60 double crochet. I've completed row number 11. Now chain 2, turn your work. We are on the wrong side now, and we're going to start row number 12, and we're going to work 1 front post double crochet in every single one of the stitches all around. Do not forget, for this part of the project, the chain 2 is my first stitch. So starting from the first stitch of the row right over here, work a front post double crochet, front post around the next stitch, a front post around the next stitch. So keep working 1 front post double crochet in all of the 59 stitches all around. The last stitch is going to be this one over here, and once I finish, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to start row number 13. I have completed row 12 with all front post double crochet. Now chain 2, turn your work to start row number 13, where we are going to work 1 double crochet in every stitch all around. My first stitch is my chain 2, so next stitch, 2, next one, 3, next one, 4. So keep working 1 double crochet in every stitch all around for a total of 60 stitches, and this right here will be my last stitch. I've completed row 13 with a total of 60 double crochet all around. Now we're going to start row 14 by chaining 2 and turn your work. Now we're going to start the second stitch, which is the double crochet rib stitch, which is made of 1 front post and 1 back post double crochet. Okay, so starting from the first stitch, I'm not going to go step by step because we have already seen how to work those stitches. The first stitch is going to be a front post double crochet. The next stitch is going to be a back post double crochet. So keep repeating those 2 steps. Next stitch will be 1 front post. Next stitch will be 1 back post double crochet. So keep repeating 1 front post, 1 back post, 1 front post, 1 back post, where the last stitch of the row is going to be 1 front post double crochet. I have completed row 14. The last stitch is a front post double crochet, as I mentioned. Now chain 2 and turn your work to start row 15. Now, since the last stitch was a front post double crochet, by turning your project, the stitches change. So you still want to keep the same direction of the stitches. So the first stitch is going to be a back post double crochet, and the next stitch is going to be a front post double crochet. Okay, keep working 1 back post double crochet and open up your stitches so you can see your back post easier, and then 1 front post double crochet. So keep working 1 back post, 1 front post, 1 back post, 1 front post, and right here when you reach the end, the last stitch over here is going to be a back post double crochet. I have completed row 15. My last stitch right here was a back post double crochet. Chain 2, turn your work to start row number 16, which for this point is the third and last row with 1 front post and 1 front post, 1 back post, sorry, for this part of my sock, okay, of my stocking. So the first stitch is a front post double crochet. So I want to keep working a front post double crochet around it. And the next stitch is a back post double crochet. So work 1 back post double crochet around it. So keep working 1 front post, 1 back post, 1 front post, 1 back post, where the last stitch of the row is going to be a front post double crochet. I have completed row number 16. My last stitch was the front post double crochet. Now the next 2 rows we are going to work them off camera. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with a chain 2 for row number 17, and I'm going to work 1 double crochet all around. Okay, so a regular double crochet in every stitch, starting from the first one. Okay, 1 double crochet all around for a total of 60 stitches, and this is your good side. Then chain 2, turn your work in your wrong side and work 1 front post double crochet in every stitch all around to make this line over here again. Okay, so recap: row 17, 1 double crochet in every stitch all around; row 18, 1 front post double crochet around every stitch all around. And once I finish row 18, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to work the heel of the stocking. I have completed row 18, so again we're going to work a slip stitch in the first stitch of this row, chain 2, and turn your work. Now in the next 5 rows from row 19 to row 23, we're going to work the heel of the stocking. So as we have been saying from the beginning, the 2 chains count as our first double crochet. So starting from the next stitch, I want to count a total of 24 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep crocheting up until you have 24 double crochet. I have completed my row with a total of 24 double crochet. Now we're going to start row 20 by chaining 2 and turn your work. Now starting from the second stitch, because for the first stitch we have the 2 chains, starting from the second stitch, again we're going to work 1 double crochet in each of the stitches across. 2, 3, 4, and keep crocheting up until the end, where the last stitch, the 24th, is going to be in the second chain, counting from the bottom to the top right here on the peak. I have completed crocheting my 24 stitches. We are on row 20. Now for the next 3 rows up until we reach row 23, I'm going to work off camera because we're working the same exact steps. I'm going to be starting with a chain 2. Always start from the second stitch and work up until the end, where the last stitch is your 2 chains. So put your hook in that second chain, counting from the bottom to the top right over here. So once I finish working my next 3 rows, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to close the heel and how to continue working our stocking. I completed working a total of 5 rows of 24 double crochet for the heel, and this is what we have at this point. If you fold the heel in half, so this is the bottom part of our stocking, and now this is the heel. We're going to join and then we're going to keep crocheting to complete it. Okay, so in order to join the heel, we want to turn the inside out. Okay, fold in half so you have your loop on the front right. Oops. I'm going to work 1 chain to start slip stitching. Sorry. And because we had a total of 24 double crochet, we're going to have a total of 12 slip stitches across. Okay, so put your hook in the first stitch in the front and on the first stitch in the back, which is your 2 chains, and work your first slip stitch. Okay, second stitch in the front, second stitch in the back, and work your slip stitch. Now third stitch in the front, third stitch in the back, and work your slip stitch. So we have worked a total of 3 slip stitches so far. Once I work up until the end, a total of 12 slip stitches, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to continue. I have completed crocheting my 12 slip stitches. Now what we're going to do is chain 1, cut the yarn and fasten off. And what we're going to do, we're going to turn the inside out again so we're looking on the good side. We're going to attach the yarn up here on the seam, and we're going to start crocheting all around to complete our Christmas stocking. So I've turned the inside out. Okay, I'm on the good side of my stocking now again, and I'm going to attach my yarn right here on the seam of the slip stitches, right up here. Okay, and I'm going to take my yarn, I'm going to pull it through the stitch, okay, and chain 2. 1, 2. Now those 2 chains in the beginning of every row will not count as a stitch anymore because it's the seam where I work the slip stitches to close for the heel. Now what I'm going to do is see how these are my 5 rows of double crochet, and I'm going to work horizontally now on the stitches, and I'm going to be putting my hook under every first double crochet of every row, and I'm going to be working 2 stitches under every stitch. So let's start. Under the first stitch, okay, put your hook under it and work 1 same stitch, 2. Now go to the next double crochet, put your hook under the stitch, okay, under the next double crochet, and work 2 stitches, 1 and 2. So I have 4 at this point. The next double crochet of the next row, 5 same stitch, 6. Sorry. Next double crochet, 7 same stitch, 8. And the last double crochet, the 5th one, okay, 9 and 10. So I have worked 2 double crochet on the first stitch of every row. Now what I'm going to do is see how here, this right here is the stitch where I worked the 24th double crochet when I was working the heel. I'm going to put my hook in this stitch and in the next one, and I'm going to work a 2 double crochet decrease. So put your hook right here in this stitch, take the yarn, pull it through the first 2 loops, grab the yarn, put your hook in the next double crochet, grab the yarn, pull through the first 2 loops and leave the last on your hook. So I have 2 halfway done double crochet, 3 loops on my hook, take the yarn, close all the 3 loops together to form 1 double crochet. Now keep working 1 double crochet all around, okay. Once again we reach the point where we have to work on the stitches of the heel, where I'm going to start with the 2 double crochet decrease right here in the corner. I'm going to turn my video back on. I have reached the spot that I mentioned before I turned my video off to work the decrease, and after the first 2 double crochet decrease over here, I have worked an extra 35 double crochet. Okay, now the next stitch, the decrease will be made in those 2 stitches over here. Okay, here and here, where the chain 2 started to work the heel, right over here. So put your hook in the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull through 2 loops, yarn over once, put your hook in the next stitch. Okay, grab the yarn, pull through 2 loops and leave the last on your hook. So again we have 2 stitches, 3 loops. which we're going to close together to form a 2 double crochet decrease, and this counts as 1 stitch. Now we're going to finish the row by working 2 double crochet under every double crochet of the next 5 rows. Okay, so the first row is right over here, 2 double crochet under the first stitch, then 2 double crochet under the second stitch, then 2 double crochet under the third stitch, 2 double crochet under the fourth stitch, and to finish 2 double crochet under the fifth stitch. And I'm going to turn my video back on to close this row and start the new one. So again, here we're working horizontally on the first double crochet of every row. We've completed row 24 with a total of 56 double crochet. From now on, I'm going to chain 2, turn my work, okay, and now I am going to work 1 front post double crochet in each of the next 56 stitches. Starting from the first stitch, work a front post double crochet, second stitch, work a front post double crochet, third stitch, work a front post double crochet. So keep working 1 front post double crochet all around, where the last stitch is this one over here, your 56th stitch. And once I finish, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to start the next row. I've completed working 56 front post double crochet. Now put your hook on the chain 2 and work a slip stitch, chain 2, turn the work, and starting from the first stitch right over here, again work 1 double crochet all around for a total of 56 stitches. Again, 2, next stitch, 3, so keep working 1 double crochet all around. The last stitch is this one over here, your 56th stitch, where once you finish, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to continue with the basket weave. I have completed row number 26 with a total of 56 double crochet. Now we're going to start row number 27 by chaining 2 and turn your work. Now we're going to start creating the basket weave, okay? And I'm not going to go step by step because we have already seen how to work the basket weave in the previous rows. So I'm going to work 2 front post double crochet and 2 back post. So 1 front post around the first 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and 1 back post double crochet around the next 2, 1 and 2. So keep working 2 front post, 2 back post, 2 front post, 2 back post, where the last 2 stitches of the row are going to be 2 back post double crochet. I have completed row 27. The last 2 stitches were 2 back post double crochet. Now we're going to start row 28, and in row 28 and row 29 we want to change the direction of the stitches. So as we finished the row, we worked 2 back posts, but when you turn your work, the 2 back posts become 2 front posts. And what I want to do is I want to change the direction, so the 2 first stitches, I'm going to make them into back post double crochet. So 1 back post around the first one, 1 back post double crochet around the second stitch, and the next 2 stitches are going to be 2 front post. So 1 front post around the next stitch, 1 front post double crochet around the next stitch as well. Okay, and keep working 2 back post, 2 front post, 2 back post, 2 front post, where the last 2 stitches are going to be 2 front post double crochet. Now I'm going to work row 29 off camera as well, because we're going to follow the same exact the same exact steps as we did for row 28. So we're going to start with 2 back posts and 2 front posts, and we're going to continue from there on. Okay, so row 28 and 29 we're going to work off camera, and we're starting with 2 back posts, 2 front posts, and we keep crocheting all around for the last 2 stitches to be 2 front posts, double crochet. I've completed rows 28 and 29. Now I'm going to chain 2, turn my work, and again row 30, 31 and 32 we are going to work off camera, because row 30 is a row of 1 double crochet in every stitch all around for a total of 56 stitches. Okay, so regular double crochet. Then chain 2, turn your work. Row 31 will be in the wrong side of your work, 1 front post, double crochet all around to create the line again over here. Okay, then chain 2, turn your work, and row 32 will be again 1 regular double crochet all around. So let's recap. Row 30, 1 double crochet all around. Row 31, 1 front post, double crochet all around. Row 32, 1 double crochet all around. Once I finish row 32, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to continue. I have completed working up to row 32, and look how beautiful our stocking looks like at this point. It has started to get its final shape, and it looks really nice. Okay, now so let's start row 33, and again row 33, 34 and 35 we are going to work off camera again. Okay, and after we finish row 32, okay, chain 2 and turn your work. So now we're going to work the rib stitch, and what we want to do is work 1 front post, double crochet around the first stitch, 1 back post, double crochet around the second stitch, and keep repeating those 2 steps. So 1 front post around the next stitch, 1 back post around the next stitch. Okay, so keep working 1 front post, 1 back post, 1 front post, 1 back post, where the last stitch of the row is going to be 1 back post, double crochet. And this is going to be row 33. Row 34 and 35, you are going to follow the same exact steps as we did for row 33. So you're going to slip stitch, turn your work, and again work 1 front post, 1 back post all around. Slip stitch, chain 2, turn your work, and again for row 35 work 1 front post, 1 back post all around. Okay, so 33, 34 and 35 off camera. Once I turn my video on, once I finish, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to continue. I have completed crocheting up to row 35, and this is how our project looks like at this point. So what we are really doing is we're making the separation lines, and we crochet the basket weave, the separation line and the rib stitch, separation line, basket weave, separation line, basket weave, and so on. So in the separation line is this one over here, when we work front post, double crochet in all the stitches all around on the wrong side of our project. So now we have reached up to row 35. Okay, now chain 2, 1, 2, and turn your work. And rows 36, 37 and 38, again we are going to work them off camera, because row 36 is a row with 1 double crochet in every stitch all around for a total of 56 stitches. Okay, regular double crochet all around. Then row 37 we are going to chain 2, turn the work, and on the wrong side we're going to work 1 front post, double crochet in every single one of the stitches all around. And then lastly, row 38, chain 2, turn on your good side, and work again a double crochet as we did over here. So recap: row 36, 1 double crochet all around, 37, 1 front post, double crochet all around, row 38, 1 double crochet all around. Once I finish, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to continue. I have completed crocheting up to row 38. Now we are going to work off camera from rows 39 to 57, and once I finish talking, cards are going to appear on your screen to tell you from which minute to which minute in the video you should watch to repeat the steps. So firstly, we have completed crocheting up to row 38. From rows 39 to row 50, we are going to repeat rows 27 to 38 of our project. And from row 51 to 57, we are going to repeat rows 25 to 31. So what this means is from row 39 to 50, that we are repeating rows 27 to 38. We are creating one more time the basket weave and the rib stitch. So we have reached up to this point over here. Row 39 to 50, the repetition of row 27 to 38 is repeating one more time the basket weave and one more time the rib stitch. And then row 51 to 57, where we repeat rows 25 to 31, is up here where I'm going to work one more time the basket weave. Once I finish, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to work the rib stitch and the hanger. So now the video is going to come out and cards are going to appear in your screen. The first card is going to tell you from which minute to which minute you're going to repeat rows 27 to 38, and from which to which minute of the video you're going to find rows 25 to 31. Okay, I'll see you back when I'm done crocheting my stocking as well. I have completed crocheting up to row 57, and just to make sure that you're not getting confused, the last two rows, row 56 was a row of one double crochet in every stitch all around, and row 57 is on the wrong side where we worked one front post, double crochet in every stitch all around. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to work the last three rows of our stocking, which are going to be with the rib stitch, and they are all going to be worked on the right side of our stocking. So let's see how we're going to do that. So we finished crocheting on the wrong side because we did all the front posts. So chain 2 and turn your project. Okay. So for the last three rows, we want to work the rib stitch, one front post, one back post. Starting from the first stitch, I'm going to work one front post, double crochet, one back post, double crochet around the next stitch, one front post, double crochet around the next stitch, one back post, double crochet around the next one. So keep working one front post, one back post, one front post, one back post all around. Your last stitch is going to be one back post, double crochet, and this will be the end of row 58. Now 59 and 60 are going to be worked off camera as well. So in order to start row 59, slip stitch as we always do, and without turning your work, we're always working on the good side. Start working again one front post, one back post, one front post, one back post. Once you finish row 59, slip stitch again and start row 60 with the same stitches again, one front post, one back post, one front post, one back post all around. So once I finish rows 58, 59 and 60, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how our stocking looks completed and how we're going to crochet the hanger. I have completed crocheting the rib stitch, and this is how it looks like at this point. Now, without cutting our yarn, we are going to crochet the hanger, okay? So what I want you to do is to chain 21, but do not work your chains tight. I want you to work them as loose as you can, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and continue up until you have 21 chains. I have worked my 21 chains, and now we're going to work 1 single crochet in every chain across. And as it happens when we work in rows with single crochet, out of the total chains, I'm going to have 1 stitch less. So I have 21 chains, I'm going to have 20 single crochet. So skip the first stitch and put your hook in the second one and work 1, next chain, 2, next one, 3, and keep working up until the end of your chain right over here for a total of 20 single crochet. I have worked my 20 single crochet going downwards. Okay, now open up your stocking and on the inside of your work a slip stitch in the same stitch as we worked the slip stitch to finish the row of the rib stitch. Okay, so in the same stitch of the slip stitch, work a slip stitch again. Now put your hook in the next stitch right here on the double crochet and work a slip stitch again. Okay, so we worked a slip stitch in the next stitch, and what I want you to do now is chain 1 and turn the work. And we're going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch going upwards. So starting from the first stitch, which is this one over here and not this one because that's my slip stitch, right over here work 1 single crochet in every stitch across for a total of 20 single crochet. So 1, 2, next stitch, 3, and keep working up until the end right over here for a total of 20 single crochet. I have completed crocheting my 20 single crochet. Now cut your yarn and make sure you leave a little tail, okay, so we can sew the piece on our stocking. Chain 1 and fasten off. Now open up your stocking on the inside, okay, take the piece that we just worked and fold it in half. Take the yarn through the needle, and what I want you to do is sew this piece on the inside of your stocking on the top loops of the double crochet up here. And make sure that you sew a few times back and forth, just so it's secure enough and it doesn't open up when you put in here the candy, okay? So go on and sew back and forth on the top loops over here of the double crochet, and once I finish, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how our Christmas stocking looks completed. I have completed sewing on the loops up here. Okay, once I finished, I worked a few knots on the inside just in case this doesn't unravel, and then I weaved in the end up here going downwards on the double crochet, okay, on the rows of double crochet over here. And this is how our Christmas stocking looks completed, going from the bottom to the top. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and if you like the video, please press like and leave a comment. Thanks again, bye bye, and I wish everyone a happy holiday.